Hello, folks. I am Dion, your host. You are now on blast. If I'm on blast with my pink mask on, then you on blast too now, baby. Smiling or not smiling? Smiling or not smiling? There you go. There go that icon. There go the icon to tag folks in here. Uh-oh. All right. Take this off. Now, I was on the freeway and everything completely shut off. I was starting to tell y'all the story about this murder with some teenagers. Okay? Alright. I tagged so many of y'all in. Y'all can tag in other folks if you want to. Alright. So this story is about hey Thomasina. How you doing? It's just me and you and some other person. Alright, so this story is about this girl who her auntie asked her to sit house sit. That's how you say it? House sit. And she wanted her to house sit for 3 days. So to go over there Friday, and they're coming home Sunday. And this is her mom's sister. So she got a cousin that's like 17 who's gonna be gone with her mom and their dad. So it's so this house is like a couple hours away from her house, like in like a house that has a woodsy back area and all this, and woods all around and shit. So just imagine, it's a big house, So on the way there, and the girl's 16 years old. Who asks a 16-year-old to house sit? Let's just start with A around this piece. But she was asked to house sit. So as her mother driving her out there, her mother's like, okay, I'm going to call and check up on you and blah, blah, blah. She's like, Mom, come on, I'm 16. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to be at the house sitting. You don't need to treat me like a baby. She's like, okay, well, I'm still going to check on you. She says, no big parties now. So she drops her off. She goes in the house, and big house. She getting comfortable and, anybody else would be scared to sit in a house like that for 3 nights and there's woods all around and shit. And they 16, But that night, like around 7, she get a knock at the door. And she opens the door, and it's her boyfriend. And she's like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here, blah, 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 la, la, la. That peer pressure. He's like, well, I miss you. I'm not used to not seeing you on the weekend. What's the big deal? You're just house sitting. Can I just chill with you for a couple hours and then go home? She said, how'd you get out here? He says, my mom is out in the driveway. She dropped me out. She's bringing me. So can I stay or can I not stay? So then she goes, yeah, you can come, you can stay. So he goes out and he tells his mom, well, he wanted to come and have her go with him to the movies. But she was like, no, I have to house it. I can't just leave. So he goes out to his mom's, to the car, and says, hey, Mom, can I just stay a couple hours? She's like, no, you can't stay here, blah, 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 blah. Come on, Mom. We're just house sitting, going to watch a few movies. She can't leave the house. She's like, okay, well, I'm coming back to get you in a couple hours. So he's like, all right. He was like, could you come around like 10? Could you come late? you know. So she's like, okay, and these are Caucasian kids now. So, okay. So she leaves, and now he there chilling with his girlfriend. So they start watching the movie or whatever. And about an hour go by, and now there's a knock at the door. She's like, what the hell? Who's coming over here? So he goes, hey, don't worry about it. I'll get it. She's like, what are you talking about? You know. He goes to the door. She goes with him. And it's two teenage boys. It's his two friends. And they're like, hey, whoa, you guys started the party without us? She's like, oh my God, what the hell? You're not supposed, what did you invite your friends over here for? Blah, 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 la, la, la. He said, oh, it's not a big deal. We're just going to have a little fun. It's no big deal. You know. They just coming by. They're not going to stay long, you know. So now they're all chilling or whatever. And they're watching a movie. They're bored. And one of the boys go in the kitchen. And he grabs a beer. And so it pissed her off. So, you know, that one boy that grabbed the beer, you know, he's just trying to ignore the importance of what she's saying about, you know, I'm not supposed to be having a party here. You guys aren't supposed to be here. Now you took a beer. No, you know what? You guys have to leave, you know. So she kicks him out. So they drove up there. Those teenage boys, they drove up there. Their mama didn't bring them. So they left. So about 45 minutes after they left, now something starts happening. Like the lights start flicking on and off. Okay? The lights start flicking on and off. And then all of a sudden, the power goes off. So her boyfriend trying to act like he's daddy and shit. Hey, where's the power thing? And blah, 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 la, la, la. She goes, I don't know. They have a basement. Maybe it's down in the basement, whatever. So he goes down there to look for the power and shit. And then all of a sudden, the power and everything comes back on. So they come back upstairs. They finish watching their movie, and now it's late. His mom is out there honking the horn and shit. So now he has to go, and he's like, "You gonna be safe? Sure you gonna be here safe? What am I trying to say? You sure you gonna be okay here by your damn self? I can't even speak English." So she goes, "Yeah, it's no big deal. I'm all right. If anything, I'll call my mom." So I don't know what the light situation was, but it stopped. So I'm okay. I'm okay. So he leaves. So now she walking back. She goes into the kitchen, gets her some water, and she hears something. And so now, you know, she looking around, you know, the wall from the kitchen down into the hallway where the other bedrooms are and shit. She looking at shit. And now the lights are flicking on and off again. And now she's screaming, "Who's here? Who's here?" Shit. "Who's here? Who's here?" She's screaming and shit. And now all of a sudden, here comes from behind her somebody with a mask on, one of them scream masks. Come walking up to her and shit, and she's screaming and running. She trips, and they get on top of her, and her, stabbing her. And then that Sunday morning, so she's there dead from Friday to Sunday. So her auntie and them come home, and the teenage daughter, the 17-year-old, goes into the house first while the father and the mother is unpacking the car. When you and I know the man of the house is supposed to enter his house first to make sure everything is safe. Coming home from a 3-day vacation, but the men these days, you know. So her cousin comes in and finds her there dead behind the side of the couch and shit, stabbed up, blood everywhere. So now they got to go, the police come and the detectives is coming, and so they questioning the family. They don't know she was house sitting. So they called her mom. The mom said everything was fine, you know. But she did tell me her boyfriend was there watching the movie. I forgot to tell you that. Her mom called and she said, yeah, Cody's here watching the movie with me. Whatever. So they got to go question Cody. So they go to Cody, all right. And Cody, you know, some of these teenagers have no emotions. You know, some of them are like, you know. And that's suspicious to the cop. He's asking him questions about, you know, what went on. Did you guys argue? You know, what's up? And he was like, no, everything was fine. We didn't argue. You know, the lights was going on and off. And she said she was okay. She wasn't scared to stay there by herself. But then my mom came to pick me up. So, and his mom, they asked his mom, was he acting weird or suspicious or anything when he got in the car? Was any blood on him or anything? No, he was fine. Everything was good. He says, well, what are you leaving out? What else happened? He says, well, my 2 friends showed up. They came over, but they left before I did. So they said, okay, what are their names? So he told them their names. So they go over to, they call those 2 boys in to the station. And they talk to them separately. And neither one of them, they said they left. They went home and they went to watch a movie. They went to the movies. So they says, oh, okay, you went to the movies. What'd you see? They said what they saw. They say the name of the movie that they saw. Now, what happened in the movie? It was one of them old scary movies, a horror movie, but they didn't remember what the hell the movie was about. You know, they didn't remember shit. So they went to the movies and they questioning folks. So they asked this one cashier, black girl. She says, hey, do you know Michael and Lance from such and such high school? She goes, yeah, I know them. They're a bunch of geeks. He says, was they here Friday night watching this horror film? She says, no, they wasn't here Friday night. I was taking tickets. They wasn't here! Is that right? So they wasn't here. No, they wasn't here. They wasn't here Friday night. I was taking tickets all night. I would remember them. They get on my nerves. They, you know. So, now, they got to go and start investigating. So, they wanted to take They took one of the boys' phones. Because one boy, it's something I'm missing, but it ain't any important. Oh. So they went to talk to the younger boy of the two. It was like a year younger. Okay. The one that drove out there was 17, and the year younger one was 16. All right. So they went back and talked to him. It says, hey, we found out that you guys didn't go to the movies. And we need to know what went on at the house. Is there something you want to tell us? Because we're going to find out. He goes, we didn't mean to kill her. We didn't mean to kill her. But it wasn't me. It was Michael, whatever, the other dude, right? And he goes, well, tell us what happened. But first, so he said what happened. He told him what happened. They went downstairs. They was playing with the lights, flicking the lights on and off and shit. So they was the ones doing that. They left the house, but they stayed back and they waited until homeboy left. They knew his mom was coming to pick him up, so they waited. And so they wanted to just scare her. We wanted to just scare her. So they took his phone and they looked through his phone and they saw video of him and no, my bad, I'm lying. I'm making up shit. It wasn't the phone. So they went and talked to the other boy and he wouldn't say shit. So now they asked him, where's the knives and shit that you guys use? Where's the weapons? So they put him in the car and he drove him to a burial site not far from the girl's house. They buried knives and the shovel and a tape. So they looked at the video footage on the tape. These psychopaths, these two psychopaths that happen to be friends in high school, goddamn. Okay? What's the likes of that? Well, they're on the tape talking about how they need to kill somebody. And who are we going to kill? We can't kill her because blah, blah, blah. We can't kill him because blah, blah, blah. Oh, what's her name is going to be house sitting. She's going to be alone. That's an opportunity. Can you imagine this bullshit? The cops are watching this shit. And they're in class shooting this video, sitting next to each other at their desk with their phone. And they uploaded it to one big cassette. So all the evidence is right there. And then that asshole that said that it wasn't his idea and he didn't do anything, lied. Was lying. He was like, yeah, when I stabbed her, that's when I saw the life leave her body. It was like such a rush, man. And I'm watching this shit, I'm like, this is some crazy shit. These are our teenagers, man. These suckers are dangerous. Then their frontal lobe is not developed. So they gave they punk asses life. No parole. Keep your crazy ass in there. Something wrong with your ass. This girl lost her life. Pretty girl. Nice, long, thick, brown hair, big eyes, pretty eyebrow. Pretty girl. Pretty girl. Pretty girl. And her boyfriend, he never showed any emotion because he was in shock. He was in shock that she's gone. He felt bad that he left. You know, he hasn't been the same since because he left. If he had stayed, and because he invited them over. So that's my. They thought they was gonna get away with that shit, but the other boy went on and confessed. Oh, that was just something else. So with that said, peace and hair grease. Stay safe. You know, be mindful of who your kids hang around and shit. You know, that's why a lot of folks don't like teenagers. You can't have your friends over here. Your friends, when we was growing up, you can't have no damn body in the house when we got out of school and our mama ain't home and shit. No, you can't come in here. I'm gonna get my ass beat. if my mother catch you in here, I'm gonna die. But now, they so damn sneaky, disrespectful. They don't show no type of damn respect. So with that said, peace and hair, we stay safe. These teenagers, they